Hey, just getting set up here. Do I want a beverage? I can always get one later. Looks like I'm pretty close to the bottom of this load of ink here. True commitment to get it all over my fingers at the moment, but gotta figure out what to write next. I'm going to write about the plants that I ate a bunch of today because, oops, that is a lot more ink than I had been hoping for. So I've been cooking a lot today, but for breakfast I was going to do like noodles with Spam, which meant that I wanted to cook up some like onions and garlic. But I didn't actually own any onions this morning, like the normal yellow or white onions. So I improvised with some green onions from the porch. Because green onions are really easy to grow. You basically buy them from the grocery store and then only eat the green part and then just put the white part in some dirt. And then you get more green onions. And it's basic, like I really do want to say it's free, free onions. They aren't completely free, like I have to water them and, you need dirt, which is kind of a pain to deal with because it's dirt. What day is it? It's the 14th. Sound like Anakin Skywalker complaining about dirt. Dirt's all right. I've been using this like a coconut coir, which I think is just the fuzzy part of the coconut. It works really well with water to expand and hold water. But then after I had green onions and garlic with Spam and noodles for breakfast, I then for lunch, and like a relatively late lunch, it was like 2 p.m. or something, and I was like, you know what, I should really eat some food. That'd be great. And kicked off the rice cooker, and then in the commercial pressure cooker you've heard of, I sautéed some more garlic and some more green onions because I still haven't gone to the store. And then added some black beans and some red beans and some cumin and some seaweed. And after that, all cooked, a bunch of seasoned salt too. And yeah, that was a good lunch. And I've got a bunch of... I've got more beans that have been cooked and more rice that's ready to eat. So that's breakfast tomorrow. Probably some more spam and some more eggs with that. I don't talk about brand name foods very much, but spam, man. And I'm sure if there's like a store brand, lunch and loaf or something that's equivalent, but maybe I should try that. Gonna go big. That's what I haven't been doing. I haven't been like scrubbing the pen off on the side of the vial. Whenever I'm doing the Batard hand, I always feel like I need to alternate stroke directions or the like flexing on these. Like normally for the capital or for the lowercase L, it's going to bend out to the left like a left paren. And whenever I do a lowercase I up here, I'm like tempted to do that. But because this I is following two, left flexing ones, I decided to flex it right. Happy with that one. Let's see if I can do it again. I enjoyed that Do Not Eat's Engineering Disasters podcast episode. Well, enjoyed is weird, but he did one about a coal mining disaster in the UK where a pile of spoil slumped from the hills where they were digging for coal down into the town and killed a bunch of people. I have no idea what word I'm writing. It's probably snake. And that's one of those, dirt's great because it's, the thing that we all live on. But it's hard because, half of every construction show I watch is it's all about managing dirt. Still in a dream. See, this time they're all flexing kind of the same direction. Oops, I ran out of space. What am I going to do? I guess it's after a period, so it's okay to word wrap it, right? It's weird because like the chat window on the Twitch for phone, like it covers up some of the frame. So I always feel like the right side of the paper, basically everything from where the pen is to the right, is off screen. Really is difficult life doing calligraphy from my phone and showing other people. Need some more words. I'm thinking about Metal Gear Solid 3 again. PS3s are probably really cheap. Although, like, I feel like the good PS3, the 60 gig one that can play all the PS2 games, probably not cheap. Like they weren't when I got mine after they were like discontinued. But it's a pretty good system. Like I'm so, like shocked it's had a worked better than the 360. Although I guess that's Microsoft quality. There's a lot of S names in Snake Eater. Sala, Shala, Shaska. No, running out of paper. I'm trying to remember the names of all the MGS3 bosses now. There's what? The Pain. That's the guy that spits bees at you. Yeah, I may spoil some Metal Gear Solid 3 lore here. And my excuse is it's a 15-year-old PS3 game or PS2 game. See, there's the Fury, the cosmonaut who's sad about it or angry about it. There's the Fear, the sniper who you can kill by setting your clock ahead by 2 weeks. Or no, that's the end. Shit, is the guy who's dead the whole time, is that the Fear? Para anime. I mean, they're absolutely like military thrillers through a Japanese lens, I guess. And they absolutely have like pretensions of being serious at times. Like, MGS3 at one level is about a, stolen nuclear weapon that, might be used to start World War III. But it's also about like the joy, your mentor as, a super soldier, being party to this to set up a like Illuminati conspiracy. And there's lots of stuff that's pretty obviously like a big author appeal. So, there's the sexy female spy that's, triple crossing everybody. Spoilers. Because that's not revealed until the credits, pretty much. There's lots of like ridiculous gunplay. There's the, gang of, bosses that are, yeah, the Pain shoots bees at you. The Fury has a flamethrower and he's sad he was a cosmonaut. The Fear is actually dead the whole time, and he's just a ghost. The End is a sniper that you find out in a later game is like powered by parasites and sunlight or something. And then there's the Joy, who's just I don't know. I don't know what her deal is, other than being really good at karate and guns. But it's weird how catchy they are for like a certain kind of person, because they're absolutely like their aesthetic is not like a thinking man's game, but I don't know, the enemy AI is really good. And and the ridiculous like does a good job of selling it, I think. There's lots of clever gameplay in it. MGS3 is one where you have like a stamina bar, and depending on what difficulty you're on, there's like more or less management required. And the ways you recover stamina are eating things. And different things you can catch and find have different, food values. And like the absolute worst are poison dart frogs, which I don't remember. Like I think on the harder difficulties they just fucking kill you. Um, oh, the Fear is the boss that's a spider or like has like spider powers. Shit, who is the dead guy? Uh, the the dead guy is like the Sadness, or what's a synonym for sadness? But anyways, the Fear, the spider guy, who is like this really high, burn rate, you can make him sick with poison frogs and then shoot him while he's barfing after eating poison dart frogs. The Sorrow, that's the dead guy. And I learned during GDQ last week that there's a really, really quick strat for the Sorrow. Like the absolute like drudgery way is it's this it's basically a long hallway, and you have to file past the bodies of everybody you've killed in the game up to that point. Which, if you're playing like pacifist, is basically nobody except bosses. Because even if you do a stun kill on bosses, they explode and shout their name whenever they explode. But apparently, if you kill yourself right at the beginning, like at the end of the Sorrow, he shoots a ghost ray at you, and you lose all your health and die. But then you eat a like revive pill and come back to life. But if you kill yourself right at the beginning, you can eat the revive pill and not have to go through this like 10-minute process of walking through an empty river past all the people or all the nothing you killed. I like that gap between the bottom stroke and the snake and Sorrow right there. I'd say like the defining Metal Gear thing is that it's there's just a lot of stuff you can do, and it works in a like cartoon logic kind of way for the most part. Like in MGS3, there's a helicopter that bothers you in like the middle of the game. But if at the beginning it's on the ground, and if you blow it up, then it doesn't bother you ever again. There's like a warehouse or like food caches that if you blow those up, soldiers later in the game, like guards later in the game, will be hungry and complain more. And it's just that kind of detail, I think, that really sells me on it. Okay, how do I make that K not look like an R? Wow, it really is just the length of that stroke, and I'm not gonna do that. In the future, I won't do that first, like the upstroke. To weight this paper down. Try and run out of ink here before I switch pens. Okay, I'm gonna go wash this pen off and also the inky old fingers here, and then do the fountain pen round. Yeah, it's a lot easier to keep the this particular blue ink. It dries really quickly, and it comes off your fingers really nice if it scrubs, or if you scrub it. But it's kind of hard to scrub the like complex shapes on the dip pen nibs. Like, there's no way I'm gonna scrub the like internal sections there. And on the outside, I don't do a particularly good job of it, so whatever. See, I think I kind of want to just keep free associating about Metal Gear Solid. Pretend my name is Felix or something. I remember basically nothing about Metal Gear Solid 4. Or do I want to keep free associating about it? What are some of the other games I watched at GDQ? I watched Sigil. And I'm trying to remember some of the map names from that. Oh, the map names for that are absurd. I'll just write down some... Dude, we should play. Like, no joke, after I'm done handwriting, I will 100% play Doom with you. True. But Sigil's really good and also not that long. See how many of these Sigil map names I remember. I remember this one, Baphomet's Domain. Not sure I completely like the spacing on the 3 downstrokes on that M. Sheol. What are some of the other ones? There's like Nightmare Underworld, which is just such a fucking metal name. There's Unspeakable Persecution, which is also a really good name. I like how uneven this nightmare is shaping up to be. The word nightmare, not the 2020 election. Yeah, I started this one too late in the line. God, yeah, I can't imagine like watching a debate. Well, I take that back. I can imagine. I've done in the past, but not this cycle. I'll just leave that disconnected. The W right there, I didn't quite connect this upstroke and that downstroke, but I'm going to leave it that way. It's character, it's art. When I've been programming lately, I've been using the term sigil a lot more because of John Romero. See, do I want to continue with this one? Yeah, I'll continue with this one. I do need to remember another level name, though. Unspeakable Persecution is really long. Whatever. Gotta avoid getting ink all over my phone. Fitting that E right into the shade of the P. This makes me so happy. Okay, I'm gonna switch it up. Go 2 sizes down. Actually, I'll leave this one sitting out just so I remember for the photo later. This Cages of the Damned level is probably one of the stronger ones in Sigil. It's kind of fascinating how much it transforms. There's lots of like triggers and like previous walls becoming windows and stuff. It's interesting the way that a lot of these sigil levels are like there's a linear progression through them, but you're like continuing to own the same space. I'm just gonna write down that phrase because I'm running out of map names. Continuing to own. I think another thing that makes that interesting, and whenever I was watching Will play Sigil, this was a huge issue for him, is that like there's this concept now that if you're stuck in the same area for the whole map, like you really have to ration power-ups and stuff. Like ammo, health, that kind of stuff. Like, in classic Doom, that can be an issue if you stay in the same area for a while. Like it still gives you some. The spacing on that T is not great. Like whenever it does trickle new monsters into an area or something like that, there's usually a few power-ups, but it feels kind of obvious that he wants you to continue having access to the previous ones and having not needed them. And I don't think there's a single like glub glub in the whole campaign that's not a secret. That glub glub name for the supercharge is so sticky. Yeah, super hot's fun. Like I really appreciate how brisk it is. Like if you've screwed up, you're not there's no like confusion about if you're screwed up or not. Like like there's still, and especially the like as you get towards the end, there's a few levels that are like longer, but there's still always this like it doesn't penalize you for doing badly. It just says do better. Do mod that emulates super hot. I really liked the serum of blistering speed in Dusk. Whenever that like first gets introduced to you, it's such a nice experience. I should replay Dusk now that I've played a medieval. I should also replay a medieval and do a lot of other things. Okay. I think I may switch to the cursive, do the speed round here. See if I can get a better angle so it doesn't get completely blocked by my hand. It's another thing I've been playing a lot of lately. I need to do more like time attack stuff sometimes. Like in the casual room at GDQ last week, I spent some time just trying to get like better times on some Mario Kart maps. And it was pretty nice to like watch them come down. Just throw that pen around here. Some weirdness on a couple strokes on this one. I'm wondering if it's just not completely ready to go. It just needs some motion. All right. So yeah, that went pretty well. Going to end the stream, take some pictures to post, and then I'm going to play some Doom. Later.